today is painting day. We are gonna get started on our large scale piece of art today. I'm gonna walk you guys through step by step, and I'm gonna show you guys the colors I'm gonna use first. Now, this is just about all the colors I'm gonna use. I may pull in other ones if I feel like it's necessary, and I'll share those along the way. But just to start off, I do have a matte white. I have the color Burnt Umber. This is an absolute must. Iced coffee, coffee bean, and we got Castle. And you're gonna need a couple paint brushes, preferably if you're working with a large piece like this. I would recommend something a little bigger, but I don't have any, so we're just gonna work with what we got. And first thing I'm gonna do is actually create a creamy white, because the stark white is just too white. So what I'm gonna do is mix a little bit of this Castle color and the white together to create a really nice beige that does not pull yellow. I do not like whenever beiges have like that yellow undertone, so we're gonna make our own. And we're gonna start at the top and kind of work our way down. I've already kind of got like the lighter color here. All this is going to be a darker shade, so I'm not going to worry about going over all of this with that, because I'm going to be adding dark colors anyway. But I did take more of the white paint, just the matte white, on top of what I already had kind of like here. And I'm actually going to start just kind of adding in white on areas that I feel like is a little see-through. So you can kind of see how some of the gold is still showing through. Now I'm doing this before the paint actually fully dries. That way it blends real nicely together. And you can actually take your paintbrush and go into like circular motions to create more like clouds instead of trying to do like brush strokes. Now when it comes to a painting like this, I find that the more of the same colors you use, layers after layers, the better it looks. Point, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the darker shade now at the bottom. Okay, I'm gonna go in now with the Burnt Umber color, and I'm gonna start kind of blending this at the bottom, way down here. So just a little bit of this color at the bottom. Okay, it's not quite dark enough, so I'm gonna have to add a little bit of black. I'm actually gonna go in with this color instead. This is the Amber Natural. I got this out of a kit from Walmart. Oh yeah, see, that's the perfect color. So I'm actually gonna mix this super dark brown and this, the Burnt Umber together, like that. And we're just gonna kind of create like these crisscross motions, and then we'll kind of like blend. So just mixing those two colors together, the Burnt Umber and this Raw Umber together. They're both really dark shades. Just two dark browns basically is all you need. Color. What I like to do too is like when I'm painting, I try to like lay out like the idea I have with the paint. So as you can see, like when I did that one, I made like a line and then I stayed between that line. I'm gonna do the same thing with the dark brown. So we're gonna kind of come up a bit on that side. I think we're gonna come down like this with the dark color. By the way, I never switched my paintbrush. I'm still just using the same one. If there's a little bit of a mixture, it's fine. It just kind of creates more of a blend, in my opinion. Also gonna go ahead and just start taking some of this brown and just kind of mix it in, because when I start adding those lighter shades, I want to be able to use this undercolor to help kind of create that blend downward. On the floor. It's all right. I'm just gonna kind of go. Trust me, it's like, trust the process on this. It might look a little scary, but it all comes together in the end. Beautiful. I'm gonna just add. Okay, so there's that part. Okay. So now that I have my lighter shades, my darker shades, I'm gonna start blending this downward, and it's going to blend together and just create like a seamless look. Same paintbrush, didn't wash it off, and I'm just gonna start layering the paint. I may have to let it dry in between coats too, but don't you worry, it all comes together. Now, once again, I mixed these two colors, the white and the castle color. You can see right here on my little tray, and that's what I'm going to use to keep blending down. It doesn't have to be mixed perfectly, but this just creates like the most perfect color. Now, the biggest part is next step. You're gonna need a cup of water, the same paintbrush. You're gonna rinse your paintbrush off. Tap it dry with a paper towel. And then we're gonna go in with that raw umber color again. This is that dark shade. And I just put a little bit here on my tray. Now I'm gonna tap the paintbrush in there and like kind of like tap off the extra. And we're gonna add in some of that dark.
I forgot to explain this part, but I like to dip my paintbrush in a little bit of the lighter color with a little bit of water and create a very thin paint that almost creates like runs in the artwork, but then I just go in and tap it off and it just creates the most beautiful blend ever. So this is definitely essential. I do this with acrylic paints. You cannot do this with oil-based paints or it will not turn out. I am now using that same technique with a wet paintbrush and the white paint to help blend in some white clouds.
now I have a majority of like the layering done. Now I'm gonna go back in with the original color I started with, and I'm actually going to add it in some areas.